Hey y'all, it's CherokeeStarfish. Welcome back to Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura. So, we did a lot in the last episode. Quite a bit. We advanced the plot. I bumbled through the, through the Black Mountain Clan's mines. And we got the stuff that we needed to figure out what happened to them. So they seem to have been banished to the Isle of Despair. And the elves were in on it, and the Wheel Clan went along with this, and we don't know exactly why. So, we're gonna go find out. We need to get to the Isle of Despair. But, in order to do so, well, we gotta have a boat. Someone needs to take us. And that's not going to be easy. But Gil Bates has recommended that Edward Teach, an associate who handles special jobs, who is back in Ashbury. So we're going back there for the first time in a while, and we're going to see what happens. So first things first. Oh, strange occurrences in Ashbury. Remember that? Remember when there were strange occurrences in Ashbury? Get out of here. Come on. Do. All the way out of the city. There we go. World map. What level are we? We're also a throwing master now. We took care of that. We just need a couple ranks in dodge to become a master of that also. And 2 more points in dexterity will get us the 20-point bonus, which is great. I think we can do that by level 40, which is very tempting. We have been neglecting our technological disciplines, but we're so close. I hate to give up now. So level 37 on the way to 38. Let's just head right over here. It's a long walk, oh my goodness. Oh boy, these guys again. I don't want to give you 200 coins. Like, I could, but you didn't ask nicely. So, okay, well, I tried. Alright, listen.
That's the way to show those bastards. I mean, good hit, madam.
I did. Oops. I did warn you. They were trying to take my money. I should know they don't have very much on them. I actually had a surprising amount of cash. Weird. Yeah. I try to be honest. Do our best. It's like, listen. Oh my gosh. This is... okay. You'd think that they would have learned a lesson, but... wow, they actually hit me. Well done. Oh, poor guys. Right in a row, too. On we go. Back in Ashbury. It has been a while. And since we are here so late at night, probably the smartest thing we can do is head up here and spend the night. Let's get some shut-eye. Sleep until morning. Hello, innkeeper. Might I impose on you for a moment? Where's the Isle of Despair? I don't know. Even though it's literally right over there. That's fine, probably. That one. This again. I've paid for my room. Okay. Now, since we are here, it has been a while. We should take advantage of that to check out what's new at the shops. Let us barter. Have anything good? Hunting rifle, Clarington rifle, marksman rifle, fancy pistol. And their inventory has actually, a shotgun. Their inventory's actually gone up quite a bit. It's improved since we were last here. Oh, no, actually, here we go. Oh, I thought that you bought gems last time. Man, we have all these gems. Oh, I forgot to mention too. So last time, our beautiful dress was destroyed finally by the traps in the Black Mountain Clan's dungeons. Thankfully, we were able to actually get an improvement. This is a better version of the elegant dress called the Sunday's Best dress. And there are certain merchants, such as, what's his name? Fenwick. Such as Fenwick here, and the clothing merchant over in Toronto, who will sell it. They have, it's something like a 5 or 10% chance per day in-game for it to spawn in their inventory. And you have to, like, go away and rest. You can't just sleep next to them. Envenomed sword. Do we have that? I don't think we do. I don't think so. Let's do it then. But yeah, so basically I just had to... Aha! New schematic. Just had to... you know, wait and kind of farm over several days until it spawned. So it's easy to get if you know that. You have to know it. Otherwise, like, there's a couple of the elegant dresses in the game after character creation, and it's generally impossible to find outside of those instances. Like Dolores Beston had one on. I was actually going to go pick up our our damaged one from her body where we left it, but she had despawned. So that's what we get. That's what we get for waiting. Okay. Now, let's see here. This way. Yes. Down, yeah. Ship captain, is that you? You give me passage to the Isle of Despair. If you've got any wits about you, you'll avoid landing on that rock. Oh my, can I book passage to a different location then? It will take us to Toronto. Now that we have been there. Previously they wouldn't take us anywhere. Because we hadn't visited any other locations. Dock worker. Is this him? Ah, yes. Ahoy there, lassie. What can old Teach do you for? I'm sorry, I don't believe we've met. Aye, we haven't at that. I be Captain Edward Teach, salty sea dog and captain of the Gypsy Shadow, the crustiest and most seaworthy vessel this side of Razor's Cape. Nice to make your acquaintance. Sorry, that's just the name of the ship. Rude, but it is what it is. Ahem. Well, and a pleasure to make yours, Captain. I have a question or two. Of course, lassie. Let's talk about your business, Captain. What ye be wanted to know? Tell me about some of the things you've seen and done. Gil Bates really upsold you. Seen and done? Old Teach done quite a lot, missy. Not all of it good and sugary. What ye be wanting to know? What's the most beautiful place you've ever seen? The most beautiful place? Well, I'd have to say it was the Lost Lagoons and the Islands of the Weeping Maidens. Lassie, the waters there are so clear, you'd be thinking to walk on blue sand. And the fish there are clear as glass, and change colour depending on their mood. And trees got more fruit than leaves, and the birds sing songs to make even an old pirate cry. That's beautiful. And what's the furthest you've ever sailed? The furthest I ever been? Oh, that's easy. I once sailed so far east that the sun forgot to set, and the mermaids came to the side of me boat and begged for me crew and I to come swimming. We came to a whirlpool so wide you couldn't sail round it without being pulled in. So we came home. Fascinating. And the worst weather you've ever been in? The worst storm I ever been in. Well, me and me ship has seen some bad weather, but the worst was probably a hurricane just off the tip of Razor's Point. I tell you, lassie, the waves was so high they could have been mountains, and the wind screaming like a stuck banshee, and the waves hit so hard you could see the ocean bottom littered with whale bones and the ships of dead sailors. Good God! And what was the greatest adventure you've ever been on? The greatest adventure? Well, once I hired me ship out to none other than Franklin Payne himself, the greatest adventurer in all of Arcanum. Bloody madman he is, but full of life and laughter, and hang me if there's a scared bone in that man's body. Where did you go with Mr. Payne? Well, we sailed west to Serpent Spine, where sharks are as big as boats, and the islands are mountains that spew rock and fire. And there, I saw Franklin Payne fight 3 fire giants with a broken sword, laughing the whole time. After he scared them off, he took one of their fire gems, which they say hold strange powers. Fascinating. And what cities do you sail to? Let's see. Depending on what I happen to be doing, I'll sail just about anywhere. Anywhere's got a port or a place to land, anyways. Blackroot, Tarrant, Caledon. I've been to 'em all, and business takes me to all of 'em. Well, tell me about your boat. My boat? Well, there's nothing I'd rather talk about. There ain't ever been a more perfect piece of shipwork done sailed Arcanum's seas. Where did you get her? It's quite a tale, missy, not one I just tell to anyone. Oh, I understand, but you can trust me. No offense, lassie, there ain't many I'd tell that tale to. I'm just not too sure about you. Oh, that's fine. That is okay indeed. So, there's a couple of things that we can do here. There's multiple ships in the game. Teach's is one of them. Right now, we, this is the easiest way to get there. Right? But there's a couple of other things that we can do later on when we need a boat again. We're going to go ahead and do this the easy way for now. Hey, I just received word from Mr. Bates to be expecting ye. Said you'd be asking for passage to that hellish place, and that I should be taking ye. I don't much like the waters nor the people there, but for Bates, I'll do it. Thank you, Captain. Shall we leave at once?
That'll be as good a time as any. There'll be a strong easterly wind, and the waters are as glassy as I've seen 'em in a long time. I'd not be the superstitious type, but I'd be inclined to say it be a good omen.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. Let's be off. Alright, so here we are. The Isle of Despair. Okay, so the Isle of Despair is a penal colony, right? And this is one of those places where, like, once you go here, and then you do everything that you need to do and you leave, you cannot come back here again without using an exploit or hacking the game somehow, like cheating. You just can't come back. Even once you, like, later on when you have more access to sailing ships, for whatever reason, you can't come back here. So we have to do everything on the Isle of Despair that we can do. Oops. There we go. Before we leave. Gotta make sure to get it all done. Okay, so we're gonna come in here. Of course, you can see the giant nasty pit, and very comically this bench and stuff that's set up over here. So there's several quests that we're gonna do here, but we're not gonna spend a long time.
I'm at your disposal, madam.
I am looking for the Black Mountain clan. Can you help me?
Clan? I don't know of any clans around here. Need to speak with Thorvald about that.
Thorvald? Who's he?
Thorvald is the leader of this enclave. He settles all disputes within its walls. But to get to him, you'll need to talk to Ogden, his guard, first.
And can I go inside now?
Females are always welcome here. You can go in, but first you need to hear the rules. There are only 2 of them. You can do anything you want as long as it doesn't interfere with anyone else, and in the event of any dispute, Thorvald is the final word.
Oh, I see. It's one of those places. The kind of place where you refer to women as females. Great. You've been most helpful.
One more thing. I must warn you about wandering outside of the encampment here.
And why's that?
We've lost quite a few people to a sorceress beast that defies our guns. I myself saw a man get eaten alive by the beast when his gun misfired.
Well, well, well. It begins. Where is this beast? I'll kill it for you. For a price. Normally I do it for free, but since you called me a female, I'm charging.
We think it lives north of here. That's all we know. You have to track it yourself to find its lair. We have a powerful magical amulet we'll give you for killing it, but I can't tell you what power it holds. It's never been identified.
A deal then, sir.
Okay. So, first things first. The sorceress beast.
Now, all we need to do is follow the shoreline. I think it's over... Is it? Maybe not. Might need to go back across the bridge here. Yeah. Alright, go around this way. We're looking for footprints. Remember when that ogre snatched the wizard back in Stillwater? Come on. Don't see any evidence. Am I misremembering this part? Maybe it is over here. He said to the north, so I was thinking it was up above, but Oh, it's been a while. Actually, oh, right, that's it. We can go across because that's shallow water. I was right the first time. I should have listened to my gut. Do-do-dee-doo. Do-doodly-dee. Do-ba-beedle-a-doodly-doo. There we go. Aha! Ha-ha! Say, once you find the footprints, it's very obvious. Okay. Kill the sorceress beast. Oh, we shall. Just follow these tracks up here in the middle of nowhere. This is one of the things that I actually quite like about Arcanum, where it's already such an expansive game with so many areas, and they hid stuff and deliberately put things outside the bounds of the typical maps. Like the actual quote-unquote zones where you're supposed to be doing stuff. Ooh, this guy. Okay. So it's out here in, like, on the world map where if you click this, say you can't see anything that's going on. You know, you can just wander around on the world map, but there's not an indicator that it's there. And I like how they used that. Okay. Well, we know the drill. Do-do-doodly-do-do. Diddly-dee. Ha-ha. Let's hit him. Level 29 Temporal Crusher. There we go. I can use time magic. There's nothing to loot. Not on its body, anyway. But here in this old abandoned building, we have unidentified ring, unidentified gauntlets, and a battered wooden shield. Well, we're going to leave that part. I think that that's it. I don't think there's anything else we have to do. I could technically fast travel back to the penal colony, I think, using the world map. Can we... Yeah, to the penal colony. But if we do, it takes us, like, to the center, I think, and not actually to the outside gate. And I would rather have control over how we enter. Plus, we want to talk to this guy, the gate guard, and get our reward first on the way in. Already done a good deed for the day. Over, yeah. And there we go. Come on, lads. Hey, Magnus wasn't that far behind this time. I've dispatched that sorceress beast for you. Spectacular. Our small community thanks you. Here's a token of our appreciation. And perhaps you can answer a few more questions. What are your questions? Nothing, I just wanted to know if you could. Ta-da! There is the necklace. Look at that. Goodness gracious. How was that supposed to go in that slot, you ask? Who knows? And let's see. Reputations. Here we go. Oh, we are now the throwing master of Arcanum. Training with Clarissa Shalmo has made us a throwing master as well. We are now as good as she is. If you master any skill, you get this reputation too. Anything else we need to worry about in here? No. Okay. Excellent. It is nighttime. Look at this. Human guard, human bandit. It's just a normal lady in a dress. Well. We've got to investigate that.
Hello, miss. Pleasure it is. May I ask what someone such as yourself is doing here? Ah, me name's Cynthia Boggs. I was born here. The men who envisioned this hell for those who refused to adapt to their society neglected to provide for the offspring of the convicted. This is scandalous. You've been here your whole life. Yes, but in a bad life, as it were, till me mother died last year. She kept the worst of it from me. Since her passing, I've become abused and treated like common property. Can't you speak with Thorvald about this? They told me he was in charge. Thorvald won't listen to my tale. He's only concerned with the affairs of men. Women are beneath his concern. He is a dwarf, after all. Well, yours is a most distressing tale. What can be done about this? She looks around to see if anyone else could possibly overhear what she's about to tell us next. There's a tribe of nomadic women on this island who've cast off the shackles of oppression these men have tried to impose on them. If I could escape from here, I believe they'd allow me to join with them. And what could I do to help? If you could speak with their leader, Loria, they might come and rescue me. Well, it'd be my pleasure to help you. Oh, bless you. Show me a map. Here's the location of the tribe, far as I know. How do you know all this information? Well, my mother used to tell me tales of these women when I was younger. She told me to escape and live with them if anything ever happened to her. Why don't you simply leave? I'm not allowed to leave the encampment. I've tried before, but they always catch me. And then the punishment. Oh. Well, I'm truly sorry. I will get you out of here as soon as possible. I must, because I'm 94% good. Okay, so. Now. This actually... Now that we've been inside and turned in our quest here, this actually adds, ta-da, another POI to our map here that we can travel to. There we go. Do. Oh, Lord. These. Get out of here. Stop it. Stop it. There we go. It's been a while since we saw any Insectress. I guess if we kill them, does that make us is that Insectricide? Aha. So, this quest is, it can be fun. It's a short one. But, of course, this is a women's camp. They are trying to live independently from the men in the penal colony. If you are playing a male character, then Cynthia actually will give you a scarf. I think it's a white scarf that you have to wear. And, you have to put that on before you get here. Otherwise, if a male character comes into this camp as soon as you spawn in, they will immediately become hostile and attack you. Half-orc bandit. Forget which one is. You have any treasure? Don't mind me, I'm just browsing. Okay, I think this is the leader. What brings you to our tribe, sister? Are you here to join with us? I'm here to help a poor woman who wishes to join with you. Why has she sent you? Why is she not here herself? She's not able to escape from the southern encampment. You were able to escape? We do not need those that cannot fend for themselves. So, this is where it helps that we are an expert in persuasion. A little bit. So you would simply leave her to rot. Perhaps you don't realize where you are. Look around. This is a wasteland that devours the unprepared. At least she's protected at the encampment. We can't afford to have someone who needs to be helped along. What should I tell her? That you don't care she's suffering? I feel for her, but out here feelings mean nothing. I can give you this old pistol to bring to her. An old rusty pistol. Tell her to use it to escape if she means to join up with us. Well, charging the gates with that pistol would be suicide. Better to die fighting than to live a torturous life.
You can, of course, just get mad and kill them. You don't want to do that.
I do not think she will be relieved to hear that. Such is life.
Is there anything else? Yeah, we're on the Isle of Despair and we just got here, animal.
May I ask about you? What is your story? I won't discuss things of that sort with outsiders.
Okay, well, fine. So polite.
Nice to meet you, I says. Do you need me?
Okay, so. Does that add a note, I think? No, okay. It's just a quest. Doodly-doo.
Back to the other camp.
Okay, good. It does spawn us in front of the ship. I was thinking that it spawned us in the middle of the camp. Which is why I was waiting. That's good. Okay. So. There's several things that can happen here. Right? There are several ways that this can go. Oh, well, yes, that's absolutely... Like, they are under the command of a woman, so obviously they are not a threat. Woman's already in charge, right? Anyway, so... there are a couple of different things that we can do here. There's a couple of ways this quest can fork off and end. Right? So, she does not have any skill with firearms. Of course, she's grown up here in the penal colony. She doesn't really know how to handle a gun properly. So, if we give her the gun... Oh, where is it?
What is it that you want of me?
Ah, there we go. I didn't have room in my inventory, so they gave it to Virgil. Virgil also does not know how to use a gun, and shouldn't be carrying one. That's dangerous, Virgil. Could go off, because he's too magical. Anyway, so we can give her this gun. And, you know, if she does, of course, then, like, or if we do, then she's going to charge the gates and die. The guards are going to kill her. So all that does is just prevent her from leaving and ruin the quest. Now, we can also kill the guards ourselves. And weirdly, that doesn't interfere with any other quests here on the Isle of Despair if you kill all of the guards. So, you know, there are also these windows over here which are locked in the outer wall. So we can unlock one of them and we can sneak out that way. If you're a mage, you can actually make her invisible and then walk through the front gate because they won't, like... detect her. And in any of those cases, if we can get her out of here, then we can take her back to the leader at the women's camp, and she will let Cynthia stay. Now, she joins as a temporary follower, so she's not actually going to, like, hurt our limit here, even though we can have another follower, but she doesn't count. She's kind of like the dog. There are people who will do that throughout the game just for a quest. So... if we are going to give her a weapon of any kind, we have to wait until we're clear of the encampment. Otherwise, she will simply take whatever weapon we give her, whether it's that gun or something else, and charge the guards, and then she will die. So, we're not going to do that. There's actually... Yes, exactly. The first rule of the Isle of Despair is there are no rules on the Isle of Despair. Right? So, yeah, that means that that we're going to take another route, but that means that we cannot talk to her right now. We have to wait until we finish up and are getting ready to leave, and then I will show you there actually is another way to end this quest.
Aye, welcome to you.
Hello, sir. Might I ask who you are?
I be called Norian out here on the Isle. Nothing more, nothing less.
Oh, greetings. What is it you do around here, Norian?
Try to keep to myself mostly. When I'm not doing that, I brew a little potato moonshine. Potatoes are about the only thing that'll grow on this god-forsaken island.
I see. Must be quite a demand for strong drink out here.
You can say that again, lass. Not much else to take a man's mind off things. Makes me right popular around here as well. Some of the men come here when they've got something to trade. Speaking of, I might have a job for you, if you're looking for work.
What sort of job are we talking about, Norian?
It's not a difficult piece of work. On a trade with an old man by the name of Maximilian who lives out in the wilds, beyond the village wall. Old Max ain't a bad sort, but dangerous, know what I mean? I've owed him a jug of moonshine for a fortnight. With all the men disappearing, I've been scared to go out and take it to him.
And of course, that's because of the sorceress beast. Perhaps I might be of assistance?
You're a braver soul than I if you're willing to face whatever's out there. Old Max might not even be alive, but I don't want to make him mad if he is. If you take this jug out to him, I'll give you a jug of your own. You never know what some of old Norian's moonshine is worth.
Then I shall do so and return.
That's grand. Here's the moonshine, and here's where old Maximilian was living the last time I saw him. Tell Maximilian to give you a note confirming the delivery, and you bring that back, I'll give you a jug for yourself.
Where is... There we go. Potato moonshine. Let me... this... I legit think I don't have room.
What is it that you want of me?
Well, I guess I would like for you to hold all of these gemstones that I thought I was going to be able to sell, and then no one would buy them for some reason. So here, we'll take care of that when we get back to the mainland. Boop. Think that that's everything? That looks like everything. Yes. The Isle of General Mental Wellness. Not here, that's for sure. Oops. Where's the... sorry, did one of you pick it up?
What is it that you want of me?
I was literally standing on it. How did you pick it up? It would have been so funny if it was Sog. Oh, there's our other dress. Here, we don't need that now. We also don't need that. Goodness gracious, Magnus, stop picking up trash. Okay. Back around the outside. Around the outside, around the outside. We're making good progress, so let's do a hard save as well. Wow. Incredibly rude to Sog, actually. Wow. Just wow. Okay, so. Gonna head over here. Now, the name Maximilian, if you have been following the series, or if you played the game before, might ring a bell. Yeah, honestly, right? Poor Sog. How long has it been since he had a drink? What do you want? Hello. And who might you be? Man before you is old, but still holds himself with strength and dignity. He seems to take all of you in at once, weighing what he sees before him. My name is Maximilian. A pleasure, Maximilian. Might I ask you a few questions? Of course. What are you doing out here? That's my business, madam. The Isle of Despair is no place to be asking a man about his past. I recommend you mind your business. Every man has his secrets. Believe me, I understand. Seems a little surprised. Gives us a shrewd look, making a new appraisal. You're right. Please forgive my short-sightedness. No doubt you've things of value to share as well. Perhaps you and I might have something to speak of after all. I'd enjoy that. Tell me of yourself, Maximilian. Perhaps now is a good time to tell stories, but forgive me if I'm a little leery of companionship. I've spent many years out here in the wilds by myself. Might I ask you to tell me of yourself before I begin? Of course. Began not long ago. Tell him the whole story. That makes him like us more. He is silent for a long time. Then, it seems grave times have come to Arcanum. Somehow you've become entangled in her problems. You're a brave soul, madam. Few are those who would do the things you've done. Well, virtue and valor allow me to act in no other way. Also, I just want people to stop trying to kill me. You've no idea how refreshing it is to hear someone speak in such a noble manner, madam. There were years, I believe, there were no men left in this land who knew what those words meant. Well, why don't you tell me your story, Maximilian? Right, yes. Since we went to Vendigroth first. Especially. Yes, it's long past time that someone knew my tale. Tell me, friend, do you know of anything of the kingdom of Cumbria, or capital of Durnholm, King Praetor the First? Oh, I've been there before. I see. The Cumbria I speak of was a much different place. Far different from what it is today, I'm sure. I speak of a time when Cumbria was a powerful kingdom, when the elves and dwarves would come to her walls to pay tribute to her king. When the banners of the famed dragon knights were a thing to be respected and feared. I take it Cumbria is no longer that place. No, sir, we have seen it. Falls far from what you describe. No, there's no doubt that Cumbria is but a shadow of her former glory. Day came along when her fate was sealed. Day when technology began to rival magic, when the old ways began to fall to the new. And what happened? Did Cumbria resist that change? Yes, and vehemently. The king at the time, Torin, was a wise and brave man, but set in his ways. He smiled sadly. He was cut from sterner stuff, but he was like stone. Unwavering, but inflexible. He failed to see how Cumbria needed to grow, to change. And so, he passed laws outlawing the use of technology in his lands, and set a ruling council of mage advisors at his side. For years, Cumbria was still very strong and influential, but it was only a matter of time. What happened? Oh, yeah. Just fiddling, just, like making night vision goggles casually to keep her hands busy while she's talking to him, not even looking at what she's doing. Just muscle memory. He's like, really? Right in front of my salad? Well, Cumbria was surpassed, both in commerce and in power. When mighty Tyrant demanded the release of certain disputed lands, Cumbria was taught a harsh lesson. The armies of Cumbria were slaughtered, the dragon knights cut down by gun and cannon fire. The glory of older days was lost. And what of King Torin? What happened to him? He looks to the horizon, his gaze very far away. He was killed. He led the final charge of the Dragon Knights and was shot as any common soldier. Unwavering, brave to the end. I see. What does all of this have to do with you, Maximilian? He comes back to himself, looking at us. Well, with the death of Torin came a power struggle. There were those who believed Cumbria should embrace the new age, to seek a better way and make her powerful again. But others thought differently. Yes, some people cannot see the answer, even when it is laid before them in the form of a dead king. Torin had 2 sons. The older son believed in the new ways, and the younger son believed in nothing. So the Mage Council that Torin had put in place put their influence behind the younger son. Wasn't the older son heir to the throne by birthright? Yes, but men will create all manner of evil in pursuit of power. The Mage Council, who controlled the younger son, brought false allegations against the older son, charging him with treason. He was taken in the night and sent away to rot in prison for the rest of his days. The older son? By the gods! Yes, stranger. The older son was me. I was sent here by my own brother, King Praetor the First of Cumbria, and I've been here ever since. Yeah, it's easy actually to kind of like miss out on this. Very easy. And I said way back at the beginning, you know, when we first started playing Arcanum, there are several choices throughout the game that can lead to a slew of multiple endings, right? Different scenarios about, like, this is what happened because you did this, and then over here, this thing happened because you did this stuff, and you finished this quest in this way, so blah, blah, blah. This is one of the big, like, linchpin decisions, actually, which is why it's kind of interesting that it is so easy to skip past.
I don't know what to say. I've no words. No words are necessary, friend. You've done enough to sit here and listen to my story. I've made peace with my past. Life here on the Isle is harsh. But a man learns to live with himself, to accept what life brings. But it was so unfair. Perhaps I could bring you home.
Exactly, so you get it. Like, politically, this is huge, but it's totally ancillary to the quest that we are actually on.
No. My time in Cumbria has passed. My brother lives, I'm sure he's paid the price due him. He was young and foolish. When one is a king, life is unforgiving when you live so. But Cumbria, perhaps the kingdom still needs you.
It looks at you and then away to the west.
I can still feel it, you know. The stone walls of Durnholm, the rolling hills and vales, the trumpet blast of the dragon knights marching to battle. I wake up sometimes and forget where I am.
Come back with me, Maximilian. It's not too late.
Perhaps. I'll ask you this, friend. The captain of the Dragon Knights was a man named Warren Delpar, or Warren Peldar. He was my one true friend. If he still lives and cares to do so, tell him I'm here and that I'd enjoy once more the pleasure of his company.
I know of Warren Peldar. Remember, we met Lyanna, his daughter, and she's the one who told us the big story about what happened to them and how her father died a broken man after the fall of Cumbria. Sorrow passes over his face.
So, my old friend is dead. He shall be missed. But this Lyanna, his daughter, you say? Tell me, what is she like?
A warrior, like her father.
I see. Perhaps Cumbria still has a burning heart. If you wish, go to Lyanna Peldar and tell her I'm here. Who knows what'll come of such things? You see a hard look come over his face. A proud look.
I will, Maximilian. I swear to you.
I'd greatly appreciate it, friend. Good luck to you wherever your travels might take you.
Farewell.
So, this is one of those things where, I think, and I'm not 100% sure about this because I usually play a character who has a high persuasion skill. So I don't know if you need a certain level of persuasion in order to convince him to come back. I'm not sure. But I do know that because you can't come back to the Isle of Despair once you leave here without cheating, if you have not been to Durnholm and met Lyanna and listened to her story and done those quests and stuff like that before you speak to him, I don't think that you can get him to come back. You can't convince him because he thinks that there's nothing to go back to. So that's one of the reasons that I was insistent on going to Durnholm, like way back earlier in the game, is to make sure that when we got here, we would have everything that we needed to convince Maximilian to return. Oh, and before we leave, I've brought you a jug of moonshine from Norian.
You have? I see that Norian hadn't the backbone to deliver it himself. Not that I can blame him. Wilds are no place to be risking your neck for a jug of potato wine. I appreciate it, stranger. I'm sure he wants a receipt? Of course. Here you go.
Thank you.
There we go. Exactly. See, that's the thing, and if you don't have, I think if you don't have the right skills or whatever, then You can't convince him to tell you his story, so you don't even find out. You might put the pieces together because you'll recall back in Durnholm and Blackroot, we heard people discuss, like, the name Maximilian was dropped, and they mentioned how the king's brother was sent away, was banished for treason and all this other stuff, right? So you can put the pieces together if you've been to Durnholm and you remember that. But I think if you don't have a certain level of persuasion, and if you haven't met Liana, then this is just a quest about delivering a jug of moonshine, and that's where it stops. Versus, it turns into, like, from a from a moonshine delivery quest, it changes from a beer run to this whole political thing. I have received the moonshine. Signed, Maximilian. So there we go. So yes, very cool. One of my favorite little semi-hidden things in the game. I think, like, they intend for you to find it because, of course, ideally they want you to find everything in the game. But it is easy to miss that one, in my opinion. And so it's one of my favorite parts of the game. Because it does have such a huge effect on the story, and it feels so momentous to kind of be part of that. Good to make your acquaintance. Oh, sir, might I ask your name? Name's Jones. Jones the Collector, they call me out here. Oh, hello. Why do they call you the Collector? As if I didn't know. 'Cause that's what I do, girl. Collect things, all sorts of things, all shapes and sizes and tastes and colors. If it's to be had on the aisle, old Jones has got it. Get me, girl? Ain't no one knows better about the getting of things than Jones the Collector. I think I get the picture, Jones. Do you trade as well? Does an ogre's breath smell like yesterday's catch? Trade? Girl, I've been trading longer than you've been asking stupid questions. Ah, I'm just joking with you. But yes, I know a fair bit about trading. And what sort of things have you been collecting lately? Oh, just about everything that washed up on the shore. Old forks, rusted pipes, the occasional shoe or boot. You looking for shoes? I got shoes you wouldn't believe. None of them match, but out here... Oh, wait. You new around here? Looking to earn some goods, make a trade? Well, it's a possibility. What did you have in mind? Well, I've been trying to get someone to go down to Shades Beach for the last few months. There's something really strange down there. From what I've been told, plenty of things that a man like me might be interested in. What do you mean by strange? What's down there? So actually, I forgot about this and screwed it up. You have a very brief window in which to do this. There is something else that you can do with Bessie Toon's boot besides giving it to Ristetzi in exchange for information about P. Schuyler and Sons. So, there is a second purpose for the boot. So, in order to do this, because you want to keep the camera because the camera has a much more important use way later in the game. So, of course, you want to give him the boot in exchange for that information, because it's the lesser value of the two, right? Obviously. Well, when you give him the boot, and you can do this without giving it to him, that's why I mentioned, like, if you give him the camera instead, obviously you've still got the boot and you're carrying it around, so you can do this anyway. But if you give him the boot, it will appear in his inventory after you do that, until the next time that his inventory changes. And you can buy it back for like 5 gold pieces. And if you do that, you can take it to, what's his name? Penal? He's the P.T. Barnum kind of character who runs the Ripley's Believe It or Not in Tarrant. Remember where we found the world's smartest orc? You can sell it to him, and he will give you like a bunch of money for it. Because it's an oddity. Of course, it's a haunted boot. The boot of Bessie Toon herself. It's an angry ghost boot. Stomping around full of curses. So you can't bring it here. That would be really interesting, actually. That would be kind of neat. But you can do that with it. So what do you mean by strange? What's down there?
There's a few mage tops around here, and they say that just getting within earshot of the place screws up all their spells. Something down there just don't agree with magic. Plus, old Dietrich brought me back a weapon from there the likes I never seen. I'd go down myself, but they say it's crawling with beasts and whatnot. Interesting. What are you offering if I go down there? Tell you what, bring back some objects from the beach and I'll find you something good. I'll trade you that weapon I told you about. It's if you find something good. God knows I can't make heads or tails of it. Well, then I'll do so in return. Done. Here's where the beach is. Good luck to you. Can't wait to see what you dig up. Okay, now, so, old man, you mentioned Vendigroth. This quest is related to Vendigroth, directly. So if you've played the game and come here, you know, then you probably have done this, because this is, like, if you just talk to everybody, you can't miss this quest. But here we go. Shades Beach. So when we were in Vendigroth, we found a number of ancient newspapers lying around that were surprisingly well preserved. And one of them mentioned an experimental craft that a certain scientist had made that was supposed to travel underwater. But he had not reported in. They'd lost track of the craft, didn't know what happened to the scientist, and he was presumed dead. Interesting that they would mention all that, isn't it? Okay, let's see. Over this way. Yes, so here we go. Greater spider. Finish him. So yes, this is one of the coolest things in the game. Check this out. Check it out. This is the ancient Vendigrothian submarine. That's so cool. Exactly, yes. It looks like a fish. It has fins and this long, like, segmented tail and everything. Very, very cool. It's a neat design, and it's cool that we are able to find it like this and see it. Walking into a world of hurt there, Spotty. We need to get a better weapon. The bladed boomerang is, or balanced boomerang is, it's great. It's one of the better non-magical throwing weapons. But we can do better than that. Soon we shall. Right? Yeah, see, you had the same thought that I did, which is, like, I played this and I saw this design, and it was like, man, what else could they have built in Vendigroth?
An impressive attack.
Kind of like, you know, were there other machines out there wandering around that were sort of like the, what are they called? The divine beasts from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? Hey, Magnus got a hit in. All right. Damn, Magnus. Finally. Yeah, and there's lots of different kinds of gorillas in Arcanum too. Okay, let's see. So here we go. A schematic. The most important thing. Remember, this is Vendigrothian tech. So there we go.
get? Yes, ancient gears. Boop. There it is. One of the best and most important recipes in the game. You know it, you love it, we've seen it in shops for thousands of gold. It's the Reanimator. This schematic is printed on a strange sort of paper and looks to be very old. The writing is faded almost beyond recognition. Experiments upon the life force, regenerative chemical compounds. Unbelievable results. Completely revived and functioning normally. Advances in Vendigrothian science. Good lord. I believe that this chemical formula could resurrect the dead. So yes, this is the Raise Dead spell for tech characters. And you just need a cure-all and a large capacitor. So we don't actually have 40 skill in electricity, but we can go back to Tarrant, to the university, and we will buy a couple of books that up our electricity skill. I think it will take 3 of them. And that will give us 45 electricity skill. And that will be enough knowledge to create the Reanimator, which is a herbology recipe. So there we go. That support build that we had that we were working on, yeah. This is where it caps out. Gotta. Well, not caps out, but let's see. Here's another one. Bronwick's gun. This one's going to be less useful to us. We already have Drock's Warbringer, right? This is Bronwick's gun. Bronwick's powerful chassis, unparalleled design, chemical properties of mithril, violent reactions, controlled destruction, gunsmiths of Vendigroth. Yes, so an ancient gun chassis, which we have several of, and a mithril sheet. Now, the irony here is actually that by spending all of our cash on those books in Tarrant, say we just need 40 gunsmithing skill. The most direct way to do that, of course, is to put ranks into gunsmithing. But if we buy the books, it will give us the skill, and this number right here is all that matters, not which schematics we know or what our degree is. So therefore, we buy a couple or 3 books in gunsmithing, and we can make this provided that we find a sheet of mithril, even though we are not actually a gunsmith. Same thing with the pyrotechnic gun, the high velocity, all of these. So like we can, if we have enough money, we can raise our skill high enough to a level in every discipline that we can make this other stuff, even though we actually don't have any skill in any of them. We are not formally trained. So basically, Dr. Unni here, remember, she's a bookworm. And what do bookworms do? They read. Oh, she loves to read, does Dr. Unni. And so by reading, she will become self-taught. We could get a skill of 100 in all 8 technological disciplines. Of course, that's going to happen automatically with the ones that she's actually doing, but nevertheless, still very cool to think about, because then it's like technically we did not put any points in those other disciplines. So we stayed true to our build, because it's just money. We're essentially buying that knowledge. And by buying that knowledge, we can make all kinds of stuff, all kinds of found schematics that otherwise we can't make. Because, see, like here, the learned schematics, it's just invisible. Like, you just can't do it. But with these, any technological character can pick any of these up and learn them. And then you can go and study at the university, and you can make them. One of my favorite little hacks. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because you're supposed to go to Vendigroth like way later in the game than we did. So Bronwick's gun is sort of the placeholder weapon you use if you are a gun character until you can find the schematic for Drock's Warbringer. And the pyrotechnic gun. Okay, well,
What is it that you want of me?
I think you picked up that other thing, didn't you? Yes, ancient looking glass. Don't know why we couldn't pick that up. So we found an ancient filament, an ancient pocket watch, ancient gears, ancient looking glass. All of this stuff is Vendigrothian. I would rather keep it, but we can't make anything with it, so we're just going to go back and trade it. Yes, that it really is. Like, you either know a spell or you don't, and like you can use scrolls, but you simply, other than that, you cannot cast a spell that you have not learned from leveling up. But with tech, you can buy those books and you can increase your skill, and then exactly, yeah, you can spread it real quick. Spread it out all over the place. Do 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 do. Oh my goodness gracious. Your turn. Is that the best you got? Go, Magnus, go. He went. I've softened him up for you. Come on. Oh, she doesn't have point blank shot. There we go. One of them always has cash. We're about to level up too. Well, it is interesting, yeah, because you find spiders all over the place swarming the submarine. And then in Vendigroth proper, most of the enemies are spiders of some kind until you get really deep in the ruins. So yeah, actually it's an interesting question to raise.
Greetings, Jones. Could I have a moment of your time?
Of course. What can old Jones do for you?
I found some objects on Shade's Beach.
Ooh, let's see what you got.
Ahem. Found this ancient gears. Let's trade.
Ah, that looks like a good trade. Done. I'll take it and you can have the weapon.
He hands it to us.
Been a pleasure working with you.
Indeed. So we get to keep the other ones. See, there's the ancient gun chassis, which we can use to build stuff. Ancient pocket watch, filament, looking glass. I feel like maybe some of these actually can be used in construction, perhaps. But you can trade one of them for the weapon, which is... Oh, no. That's where he gives you the ancient gun chassis so you can build Bronwick's gun. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Spiders come from Vendigrothian tech.
Hello, Norian. Have you a moment? I've delivered the moonshine. Here's the note.
Well, you made it. I'm glad to see it. I appreciate the help, friend. Here's your jug of moonshine. Good luck to you.
Indeed. Good luck to us all. Let's see. You are carrying all of our tech stuff. Look at all this tobacco and coca leaves that he's got. It's like we won't let him drink, so he's oh, we can take something from him. He doesn't really need this other sword. I don't know why we're carrying it, actually. I needed to sell it, and haven't yet. So there we go. But it's like he's picked up a much worse habit. Okay. Okay. So this guy right here, he is the one who schedules fights down in the pit. Now, the pit is fun, because the only way to get down into the pit is he has to send you in, right? And then you can only be, like, escaped from when you defeat your opponent. So because of that, this pit right here is notorious for bugs and glitches. So, before we go down in there, which we are going to go down in there, we're going to save. We're going to save a couple of times. Let's see, I think that's Goran's house. There's Ogden. Is there anybody else? Don't remember. A couple of these are like the guard barracks, I think, or guard houses. I'm assuming that this right here is supposed to be like the latrines. Anything? No. Alright. Okay. So here's Ogden.
You need help?
I was told to speak to Ogden.
I'm Ogden. What is it you wish to speak to me about?
It's imperative I find the dwarf Thorvald to speak with him.
Thorvald resides behind these doors. Only a select few are allowed an audience. It's my charge to filter out those undeserving of the honor.
No offense, but you seem very articulate for an ogre.
No offense perceived. In actuality, I'm but a half-ogre. Never having had contact with either of my parents, I do not have any information as to the specific nature of my lineage.
You never knew your parents?
No. I have a vague recollection of the orphanage, though, but something about the memory seems a bit peculiar.
What seems peculiar about it?
It is a most strange thing. As I remember it, all the other children were half-ogres like myself.
What's wrong with that?
It's very rare that a human and an ogre would mate, and most of the time these couplings are the result of force. If there were significant numbers of assaults being committed by ogres, I believe the newspapers would have been overflowing with calls to eradicate them.
I have noticed that many city gnomes use half-ogre servants.
Now that you mentioned it, does seem a bit strange. Even I spent some time myself as a servant to a gnome of rather high standing.
Did you work for gnomes your whole life before coming here?
No. From a very early age, I remember working in a printer's shop, from the early morning hours to well in the evening. I would then retire to the storage room where I was allowed to rest for a few hours. The next day, I would be up before daybreak to start again.
That sounds truly distressing. How long did you work there for?
I've no way to gauge how long I spent in that miserable shop. Eventually, I was rescued by a well-to-do gnome who made a big show about paying the printmaster a sum of money for the inconvenience. I now recognize this as the accepted way to buy and sell individuals. I worked for Mr. Chaplain until I was sent here.
Why were you sent here?
Mr. Chaplain did not wish to have a savage serving his guests, so he hired a tutor for me. Miriam was her name. I never knew that humans could be kind or even what kindness was until I met her. She taught me for 3 years until I began to ask too many questions.
What happened then?
The more I questioned, the more agitated Mr. Chaplain became. Early one morning, the constable came to the house and escorted me away. I didn't even see Mr. Chaplain. My fate did not become evident until I was on the ship coming here.
Why did they send you here?
People don't like their property to ask too many difficult questions. Being an influential gnome, it was a simple matter for him to have me shipped here. I believe I was perceived as a potential agitator of the workers.
I'm sorry for you. But could you allow me to see Thorvald?
I have a very specific rule I am pledged to follow. No one enters without first proving themselves on the field of battle, so to speak.
The field of battle?
Field of battle in this instance would be the pit. Barbaric, but effective in detouring the undesirable element.
The pit?
The island is sorely lacking in any kind of entertainment, so the men invented their own barbaric form, pit fighting.
It sounds as if you don't necessarily approve of the pit fights.
I don't mind them. They make my job easier. They're just not my particular brand of entertainment. I would rather pass the time with a good book.
You appreciate a good book, do you?
Now this is where it forks. So we can go down in the pit, and we can fight. And then he will let us in to see Thorvald. However, because we are an expert in persuasion.
Sadly, yes.
Why sadly?
There are not many books on the island. What good is a love of books when there are none to be had?
That's too bad. Is fighting the pit the only way to see Thorvald?
I'm afraid so.
You're an educated individual. You must see I'm not a commoner.
Yes, it has been very pleasant speaking to you. It is a nice change.
Must I bother with that barbaric pit fight? It's pointless violence. I am a woman of high education and culture, and also all I have is this boomerang, and these many, many poisons and explosives.
You seem like a decent lady, and I don't detect any subterfuge on your part. Thorvald will be cross with me, but go on in.
He just gives us the key.
You've been most gracious. Have you seen any dwarves other than Thorvald here?
I have not.
So, because we have persuasion, we will just talk our way through. There we go. So, automatically put on our key ring. Ogden wishes you to bring the book The Hand to him. Now, he did not actually specifically mention that in point of fact, so yeah, we can bring him this book. Now, this is something that we want to try and do, obviously. So, I'm trying to remember. Because this is one, like, for years, I was not able to complete this quest. Like, when I was younger and first played this game. For real. I just could not figure it out. And I do not remember. I'm having to look it up now because I don't recall. Because you can't come back here, right? So, you have to do it before you leave. Okay, let me see. I think I may have screwed it up. Yeah, right here. So, the book is in this barrel, actually. And if you pick the lock on it, old Edward Teach here. There you go. You've got to talk to him and turn around. Make him turn around. If he's watching, then he gets mad. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, you know what? Dang it. Can I? There we go. See, I'm warning you to stop. Da-da-da-da. There's the book. The Hand by Frederick von Hapsgood. Ah. Dear reader, what you hold in your hands is the result of arduous labor on behalf of myself and apprentice staff. Long have the private journals of Frederick von Hapsgood been rumored, and it was but 4 short years ago that it came into my possession. Delivered to me by Professor Hapsgood's longtime servant of 30 years. As you well know, Professor Hapsgood was known for writing in a scrawl and blah 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 blah. So, it's this whole long story. I'll go through it. You can pause it on YouTube if you would like to watch it in between pages. So yeah, the thing about that is, you have to get the book before you leave for the Isle of Despair, which means you have to know it's there, which I forgot, and then you have to take it with you, and that's the only place to get it. So it's not really a big deal. Oh. Well, that might be a big deal. Flintlock pistol, studded leather, boots. This is fine, actually. We'll just skip back to where we were. There we go. So that's why he mentions that he would like the book, but it's not necessary. So I think you just get XP. Like, I don't think that it affects any of the endings. I was thinking of one that it might affect, but after checking, it doesn't seem to. So here we go.
Yes? What can I do for you?
Hello. I wish to speak with Thorvald.
What are you doing in here?
Ogden let me in.
Why in the name of Albrecht's hammer do I even have a guard? That damned over-intellectualized half-breed lets everyone in here.
I've seen no other dwarves on the island. Are you the only one?
I've been the only dwarf here for the last 100 years. Sent here unjustly, I might add.
Where's the rest of the Black Mountain clan?
Black Mountain clan? There's no Black Mountainers here. I'm the only dwarf that's ever lived on this rock.
You're not of the Black Mountain clan.
I'm Thorvald Two-Stones of the Wheel clan. You're a bit off in your directions. Black Mountain clan's in the northernmost region of the Stonewall Mountains.
I've been there. Their mines are deserted.
Strange. Why is it that you believe that they're here?
Well, they were to be banished here by order of the Wheel clan.
Who told you this?
A feeble-minded dwarf hidden deep in their mines.
What was his name?
He said it was Gudmund.
Gudmund? Gudmund Orbender and I were friends, but in no way was he feeble-minded. He was one of the bravest warriors I knew. I find it hard to imagine that he could have become feeble-minded in such a short time.
The story he told was very disturbing.
What did he tell you?
We'll relate that to him.
The whole clan gone, my clan involving themselves with magics. None of this makes sense. Have you spoken to the Wheel clan about this?
I don't even know where the Wheel clan is. Do you?
Of course I do. Here, I'll mark your map. But knowing its location will not be enough.
What do you mean?
To keep out outworlders, we created an optical illusion of the grandest scale, using glass and mirrors which makes the entrance of our mine look as if it never existed.
Then how do you get in?
A pair of specially made spectacles which use thin slices of cathode crystal as lenses. Every member of the Wheel clan has a pair. I still have mine.
I'll get you off this island if you get me into the Wheel clan.
No. I don't believe you'll ever be leaving this island. Alive, anyways.
Why do you say that?
Did you think you could land a boat on this island without anyone knowing? I'm sure it's already been captured, and your captain thrown to the sharks.
Then come with me. With you by my side, they will let us pass.
Sounds tempting, but it's too risky. I'm in a good position here and don't want to jeopardize it. If the men discovered I joined up with you and was planning on leaving them here to rot, it would mean both our heads.
Yes, technically that is true. If we do him in, then we will we will get the glasses, I think. So we can convince him to give us the spectacles with our persuasion. Also, there is a unique dialogue here where if you have very low intelligence, you can talk him into giving you the glasses. I'll leave you to explore that. If you are not a gnome, you can convince him to join your party and then get the glasses from his inventory. So yes, you can kill him and like read his diary and steal the glasses and stuff like that. There's also a schematic for the glasses.
Let's see. Well, then give me the spectacles. You have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. My life, the spectacles. Are you dim?
No, hear me out.
Go on.
If I fail to take back the ship, tell your men I stole them.
Okay, we're gonna wait.
Very well. Say you do get off the island. Then what?
I'll tell your clan of your situation, and they will come to your aid.
I'll give you the spectacles, but you must swear that you'll tell my clan of my situation here.
Well, shall we tell the truth? Shall we lie to him? How y'all feeling? Are we feeling particularly virtuous today? Our alignment is like 94% good. The other 6% is... I don't know. What is the other 6%? But anyway, I think that that's too good to lie to him. He says he's here unjustly. It's fine.
Here you are.
So, how did you end up here?
I was defending the honor of my clan. Bloated, thick-headed gnomes and their laws had me shipped off to this rock.
I'm sure they had their reasons. What did you do?
I was in a pub minding my own affairs when I overheard a gnomish merchant mouthing off about how the Wheel clan was just a bunch of cheap, worthless ditch diggers. I confronted him and told him to apologize. He wouldn't. Instead, he let his liquor do his talking for him, so I let my fist do mine. It only took one solid hit and he was gone. Gone. Weak-necked bastards. Next day I was shipped off to this rock.
So he punched a drunkard and broke his neck. Hit punch too strong. It's like in that David Eddings book. What did you hit this man with? My fist. Next time use a club or an axe. You almost killed him.
I thought the dwarves didn't reveal their last names.
What? A dwarf doesn't hold his name in secret. He's proud of it and will tell everyone. Who told you such foolishness?
Magnus? How do you explain this?
Yes. I've told you that there are different traditions among different clans, and oh, blast it. Is it my affair if every dwarf wants to yell his name from the mountaintop?
There's no need to get angry, Magnus. I'm just asking a question.
Yes, well, I don't like you questioning my beliefs or my knowledge. I'm a dwarf by Alberic. I bloody well know what dwarfs do and don't do.
Or at least what Rowan's almanac tells you.
Rowan's almanac? What? Are you implying that I need that blasted book to tell me about being a dwarf? If you weren't a woman, I'd wring your neck right here.
Right. Thorvald, let's continue our conversation.
Typical city dwarf.
That actually cost you a little bit of attitude with Magnus, but it increases his. So there we go. Now we technically don't need this. Yes. He gets mad every time, so dislike. Virgil, my guy. Oop. Forgot we left those on the ground, and he went back over and picked them up. Very funny. Did you get them, Virgil?
No.
Where'd they go? Somebody picked them up. Oh. Okay.
What is it that you want?
There we go. There they are. I got worried for just a second there. Every time someone asks who you are, just, why? Who might you be to ask a dwarf his name? So here, let me do this. Please go tell my clan of my predicament. I sure will. Just talk to him to make him turn away, and then we can pick the lock without him being upset, see? Oh my goodness gracious. Virgil, I am begging you. So fun. What is your lockpicking skill?
What is it that you want of me?
Wait a minute.
What is it that you want of me? What can I answer for you?
Where is it? There we go. He's got a decent skill. I don't know what his problem is. He's not apprentice or expert or anything like that. You know what? Do. That's fine. Calm down, Thorvald. Hey, there's the key. And there's the schematic. There's schematic. Yeah, let me try that. See, the thing is, the auto lockpick is, it's technological, but, you know, actually, it doesn't say that there is a failure penalty for being a magic user. So, let's actually try that.
What is it that you want of me?
You take that. We'll take this. Let's see if that actually helps. Nope. Immediately. He's just jamming it every time. That's very funny. Oh man, I would really, I really want it. Yes, one day. He did open a chest once. He really did. That was a good idea, but he's just rolling very poorly. Virgil, please. Virgil. 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 Yeah, I'm starting to feel the same way. Yeah, see, typically this is not a problem for me because I almost always play a magic character, and there's just a spell for it, you know. So, but it's okay. We, let's see, can I... You know, I wonder, actually... no. I want this. Prowling. Please go tell my clan of my predicament. Such a good animation. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's not gonna work. Exactly, yeah, like why would you invest in skills like stealth and lockpicking when you just turn invisible? Or cause chests to explode? Stuff like that. Anything in here? No. Alright. Fine. We don't need the schematic anyway. It only does one thing. Okay, so we have done everything here. I'm going going to save it. Here we are.
I have returned to help you escape. Have you spoken with Loria?
So, no, it was her voice.
Have you spoken with Loria?
Something Cockney, kind of. Fake Cockney. And now all I can do is, like, fake Scottish. My brain got stuck in that gear. Yeah, because, like, prowling's not a bad skill if you want to go that way, but invisibility is just better. So... She was kind of the, like, oh, yes, mum type.
Have you spoken with Loria? Are they not going to come rescue me themselves? They want nothing to do with those who cannot help themselves. I suppose they're right. I should be able to extricate...
I cannot do... I'm literally... My brain is stuck in that gear. I can't do a different voice now because I did the dwarves. Oh, it's so funny. I hate when that happens. I hate it. Sometimes you have to stop and, like, deliberately try and, like, do a line in a different voice to switch off of that. It's like my brain is trying to get over, like, a speed bump and it won't go, so you have to get, like, a run and go. Oh, my goodness gracious. Anyway, I suppose they're right. I should be able to extricate myself from my bonds if I'm to be welcomed amongst them.
Please, let me help you. It's a dangerous trek to their camp. You do that for me. I thank you and humbly accept your offer of help.
So, right here, we can give her this. We're not going to do that.
Follow me. I'll find some way to get you out of here. Thank you again.
Yes. So, we have leveled up. Okay, so 20 dexterity is very good. Oh, look, we're 100 good now. But master dodge is also very important, plus just more ranks in that. So what I'm going to do is put this here, and this will line up perfectly because then at level 39 we can max out dodge, and at level 40 we'll get 2 points, and we can dump them both in dexterity, and then we never have to raise dexterity again. So that's great.
Madam, I suggest you tell that woman to stop following you or I'll be forced to attack you. She's not allowed to leave here or even to fraternize with strangers.
Ahem. Why is she not allowed to leave? I'm a woman and I can leave.
She's the property of the camp. If you choose to stay here, you'll become our property as well. Your head will be my property, dog. Well, that's preposterous. I do not care for your opinions, woman. Tell that wench to stop following you or you both will pay the consequences.
It's very difficult for me not to just kill this guy. But the problem is, it makes all of them hostile at once, so if you kill one, you have to kill all of them, kind of thing. Oh, maybe not, actually. Oh. See, if this guy doesn't aggro, then it's whatever. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, never mind. So you may have seen the conversation option that you are able to claim that you own her, that like you've purchased her, and they'll let you go. Oh. Remember, Thorvald was like, yeah, by this time they've you know, they've taken over the ship and thrown the captain to the sharks. But this is Captain Edward Teach we're talking about.
Ahoy, lassie, what's up?
What's happened here, Captain? Who are these men?
Bloody inmates thought they'd come out here and play at being swashbucklers. As if old Teach is going to let a bunch of scurvy landlubbers board his ship. I just gave him what was coming to him, lassie. What about you? What have you found out about the Black Mountain clan?
Plenty.
Now what? You sailing, or you have a deed here?
Let's sail, Captain.
It won't be sad to leave this place behind. Looks like we'll be heading back to Ashbury then. Ready when you are.
Ta-da. So here we go. This is the better secret ending, kind of, to this quest.
Thank you for rescuing me from that terrible island. True freedom was more than I could ever have hoped for.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Ta-da! So yeah. Because, of course, if you hook her up with the women's camp, she just despawns, then that means that she is still trapped on the island.
Thank you.
Of
You're
course.
too kind.
Oh, thank you so much for the gift subs. Thank you, Trance. You are indeed too kind. Let's go over here and heal. But so yeah, that's the other ending, is you can actually take her back on the ship with you. And then she's truly free because she's no longer on the island. Since even being in the company of the women in their camp, that would be some protection, but like, she's not actually free, she's still on the Isle of Despair. This way, she's free. Like, for realsies. Okay. Well, and that's the Isle of Despair. That's the whole thing. That's all of it. So, we're gonna head over this way to the Wheel Clan. I mentioned before that that was up there. I don't think I said it by name, but like there was a thing up in the mountains that we had not yet uncovered, and that was the thing. You can go there, you can find it on the map. It doesn't mean anything, so...
It seems to me that you're looking for answers. Perhaps it is time that I answered them for you.
Ooh, mysterious apparition level 50. Ooh. What? Who are you?
Don't you know? Are you not the reincarnation of Nazruddin? Has it been so long that you don't recognize your old nemesis? Or perhaps you're not the living one after all, merely a puppet playing his role.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I see. Perhaps you are not the living one. Perhaps Nazruddin, the coward that he is, will not heed fate's call and face me in the final battle. It would be so like him to do so.
Who are you?
I am he of the dark, the rightful ruler of this land, the vengeful god of Arcanum and its races. I am Aronax, and I have come to give you a message.
And that message is?
The message is this. Whether you are the living one or not, whether or not the coward Nazruddin hides in your bones or still rots in his grave, the inevitable will still come to pass. I am returning. It has already been set in motion, and there's nothing you can do about it. I am returning, and all will fall before me. Everyone you know, everyone you love.
You bastard. Face me as a warrior.
See my power? Do you yet understand? Perhaps I need to be more clear. No one is safe, traveler. No one. Not even you.
Aronax.
What I have shown you here. Remember and tell the world. Aronax is returning to Arcanum, and nothing will ever be the same. Farewell.
Right. The plot. So, our first meeting with Aronax. The actual bad guy. A antagonist, our supposed nemesis from times of old. Assuming we are Nazruddin, the living one. Oh no, not dead. The spell he cast drops everybody's fatigue to like -5 or something like that, which is why, see, like as we continue the conversation, because the game is not paused, they regenerated and stood up. Oh, that would be awful. Very tired adventurer. Ahem. Anyway, here we are. Ta-da! And there, with the glasses on, is the entrance to the Wheel Clan. And that's where we're going to leave it. A lot has happened. We have seen the main bad guy. We've gotten where we're going. We've cleared the entire Isle of Despair. That's a lot. And I hope you had fun doing it with me. Next time we will be heading into the Wheel Clan's stronghold to see what we find there. Answers, perhaps? Or more mysteries. Either way, I will be back next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is New York and Miami time, with more Arcanum. Between now and then, come back on Monday, as Specific Pixel joins us for Baroque. And on Thursday, there will not be a stream, unfortunately. Very sorry about that. Then the following Monday, I'll have more Wasteland for you. That's on March the 25th. And then on the 28th, that following Thursday, I will be back with more Pokemon Crystal. And April the 1st, we have a special all-day stream. So don't miss that either. And if you have not already done so, you can hop over to our Patreon. You can follow for free, even if you don't pledge. Of course, if you want to like and subscribe and all that stuff and leave a comment and everything, like, I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but, like, if you feel like it, that's fine. It's just, you know, as the mood takes you. But our Patreon patrons have shortlisted the next Thursday schedule that will be coming up after I finish Pokemon Crystal in this current challenge run that we are doing of the game. And so that poll will be rolling out on YouTube for everybody else to vote on either tonight or tomorrow. So keep an eye out there, and you'll be able to determine the order in which we will be playing the 5 games that our patrons have selected. I am grateful for the Thanks is what I was going to say. I'm grateful for the privilege of your time. Bleh. I appreciate you spending it with me and with Dr. Unni here. And until the next one, as always, thanks for playing.